I am very pleased to once again introduce the annual recipient of the Bulletin's Leonard Rieser Award. And thanks to Zoom, we're joined here today not only by this year's awardee, but also several past award recipients. The Leonard Rieser Award is the capstone of the Bulletin's Next Generation program. The award is given annually and is selected by the Bulletin's editorial team from among the publication's Voices of Tomorrow essayists. It is named for my father, Leonard Rieser, who was a young physicist who had enlisted in the Army in 1944 at the age of 22, was sent to work on the Manhattan Project. And many years later, he served as the chairman of the board of the Bulletin from 1984 until he died in 1998. My father would be very proud that one of the purposes of the Bulletin's Voices of Tomorrow program, and especially of the award that bears his name, is to inspire others to act in whatever ways they can to address today's greatest threats to global security. The 2019 award recipient, Haven Coleman, does just that with her essay entitled, "Adults Won't Take Climate Change Seriously, so we, the youth, are forced to strike." Haven is joining us here today, along with three past Leonard Rieser awardees, Yang Chang, Aaron Connolly, and Kate Hewitt. Yang Chang is a particle physicist at Cornell University, whose 2017 essay was a moving account of why she decided to participate in the March for Science that year. Aaron Connolly is Associate Program Director at Girls Security, and Kate Hewitt is a federal government employee and an advisor at Girls Security. Together, they wrote a Voices of Tomorrow essay recounting their work in high schools to inform students about the threat of nuclear weapons. First of all, welcome to all of you. Let's start with Haven. Bulletin Editor-in-Chief John Mecklin had this to say about your essay when the 2019 award was announced. Quote, "This article is an absolutely stirring essay that calls not just a generation, but a world to action to diminish the dire threat that unchecked climate change poses to humanity." I certainly agree with John. Has anything changed since the strike? Do you find that adults are taking the issue more seriously? And if not, what more do you think could and should be done?
Since the strike movement, a lot has happened. One of it is the pandemic. So a lot of movement did happen right after the strike, where people were initiating action to talk to politicians and figuring out where they stand and how they could help and try to make sure that the future will be healthy and cleaner for my generation. But then after the pandemic, everything started to slow down. Climate change will happen no matter what. What we are fighting is making sure it won't get even worse than what we are already seeing. So making sure that we have enough air purifiers, making sure that people won't be left behind just because of their economic status, color, or anything that can define them and be, for some reason, looked down on. Making sure that we are prepared for these events and making sure that everybody will be safe, because nobody should be left behind in this.
I want to ask each of you to describe how writing in the Voices of Tomorrow program and receiving the Leonard Rieser Award has affected you. Has it influenced your academic or professional work, or caused you to write more about the issues that you care about? Haven, let's start with you.
It gave me more confidence and reassurance that I would be heard and people would like to hear what I have to say in writing.
Yang, what about you?
And I think the Bulletin has acted as this constant source of knowledge as well as inspiration for me to think about a scientist's civic duty, to think about the social cost of scientific research, and more importantly, to critically think about the relationship between science and the state.
So writing for Voices of Tomorrow was this wonderful writing experience, especially so early in my career when I was still trying to find my own voice in this space. The Rieser Award has had an incredible impact on both Kate and I's careers, and the Bulletin's recognition of the need to support public education has significantly shaped our work, both individually and collectively. We really appreciate the Bulletin's continued support of young people, and I have even shared the Voices of Tomorrow with some girl security mentees who are now working with Dawn themselves.
Women are already underrepresented. Studies have shown there are a variety of reasons for this, and one of them is a lack of support. Giving younger generations, especially women and minority of those generations, a place to voice their concerns and have them not only be heard, but also celebrated, it creates this ripple effect that tells us you matter, your voice matters, your perspective matters. Continue to give future generations a platform like Voices of Tomorrow, and we think the world will be shocked at what we continue to accomplish.
On behalf of myself and my siblings, and the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists, we certainly hope that you will continue with your activism and writing throughout your careers. We need your voices and those of your fellow Leonard Rieser awardees working on these issues that have such serious consequences for all of humanity. Thank you again. It's been inspiring for me and very gratifying for me to be able to be part of this and to listen to each of you.